decimal. 0.249. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. So we don't have this crazy amount. I'm thinking about changing my mind once again. Let's make a plan for the next few days. The last stuff is permutations and combinations. That is not that tough. Okay, so let's see. I've got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. How do you feel about splitting this lesson up into 2 pieces? Does that sound good? Okay, so we're going to work on 3.4 tomorrow. I still want to do the test here. Okay, I think I'm going to give you the review questions tomorrow, and then I'll say pick, I don't know, like 8 out of 25 or something, and you can pick whatever section you want. So if you're like, I don't need any practice with graphs, I know how to do those. I don't need any practice with like ordinal or ratio or anything like that, I know how to do that. But if you're like, man, systematic, cluster, I don't remember that stuff, or maybe I should do like this 3.3 again, this adding and subtracting the overlap, that's confusing, then pick one of those. Each one is, on the review, each one is literally listed with the section that it's about. So you can see. Is that reasonable? And then this day we'll do questions, plus we'll do Jeopardy, and just have a nice time. There will be no homework on Thursday, and then test on Friday. Is this all good, guys? Okay, all right, so when you're working on your homework, and again, this homework is due on, what is today, Tuesday? So this homework is due Thursday. But I just want you to do this first bit here. I guess that's not that many. Maybe we should do just the first, like, next 3 problems, and then you can do half of the other assignment too. I just don't want you guys sitting here and not having anything to do. I mean, I'm sure that'd be horrible for you guys, but also just not worth the time. So let's just try real quick a couple more problems. Okay, a permutation is an ordered, sorry, Thomas. Make you stand up and come right back. An ordered arrangement of objects or people. What are the numbers of ways you can type in a 4-digit code with no digits repeated? All right, there are a few different ways you can do this. How many different options are there for the first one? 10. How about the second? 9, 8, 7. So that is 10 times 9 times 8 times 7, which is 5,040. There are lots of different ways this can be done. It's called permutation. So write down this formula for me. This is NPR. And that is equal to n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. Okay. So this would have been 10p4, as in I have 10 options. It's a permutation because these are an ordered arrangement. And I want 4 of them, 4 spots. Do you guys know what a factorial is? Okay, so 10 factorial. 10 factorial is equal to 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So factorial is essentially all the things multiplied up until that point. That make sense? There's a button on your calculator. You can check it out. In your calculator right now, let's do 10 factorial, type in 10. And then hit the math button, over to probability, and then down to the fourth one that looks like an exclamation point. So it looks like you're writing on your calculator like 10. You should have gotten 3,628,800. Goes up pretty fast. And so it makes sense that this formula would be that, because it's essentially saying the top would be 10 factorial, 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And on the bottom would be n minus r factorial. So that would be 10 minus 4 in this case, which is 6 factorial. Can you guys see how, like, these will cancel out and leave us with what we wanted? 10 times 9 times 8 times 7. So let's just quick do example 6 to show you how to use this. A psychologist shows a list of 8 activities to a subject in an experiment. In how many ways can a subject pick a first, second, and third activity? Does order matter here? Yeah, they're specifically talking about what one's first, what one's second, what one's third. So how many choices are there? 8. This is a permutation because order matters, and we're picking 3 of them. All right, so I'm about to show you 3 different ways you can do this on your calculator. One way is by doing, very simply, 8 times 7 times 6. Go ahead, put it in your calculator, 8 times 7 times 6. What'd you get? 336. Okay, here's another way. If you figure out this formula here, that would be 8 factorial on top. What would be on the bottom? 5 factorial. So in your calculator right now, take 8 factorial divided by 5 factorial. Also 336. And the final way is to do it like this. Everybody pay attention, because I doubt there's any way you remember how to do this, except for probably Emma remembers how to do this. So put in an 8 in your calculator, and then hit math,